Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Hey, listen, if you're a client of Jazz Wealth, I want you to get ready for what we're going to call Wine and Wealth. For our clients only, we're going to do a sort of a get-together, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm going to teach you stuff that you just can't find online. We're not one of those, like, people that are, oh, get rich quick, we'll show you how to make millions. No, we're going to show you how to take what you have and make the most of it. Financial tips, credit tips, investing. We're going to talk about how to make the most out of your credit score. We're going to cover everything. Come share a glass of wine with me. Make sure to say, email Carolyn at Jazz Wealth if you're a client of Jazz Wealth and you're interested in having some wine with me over the internet here and talking about very, very specific financial rules, tips, tricks, hacks, things that you can do that just nobody else is willing to help you. If you're not a client of Jazz Wealth, this is what we do for our clients. Not only do we manage their retirement investments, but we 100% want to educate and teach you about money, savings, budgeting, debts, credits, loans, things like that. We want to make sure you have the best advice for every little bit of your personal finances. And part of that is talking about the markets. So today, let's talk about the markets here. We've got the Dow. What was it? The Dow was down 19 at the close here. Another wild day. Let's take a quick look over at the charts. Here's what we're looking at here. The title of the thumbnail, the market's settling in. And I want to go over this real quick because, you know, some of you like to use charts. I understand you more chart people that kind of want to see what's going on. And today is really an indication that traders are sort of content with where the market is at. They've accepted the downturn. Everybody has made their adjustments, whether they want to be a buyer or a seller. And so today you have this back and forth day. Now, this bar, this move, and today right here, just this green bar, there's a lot of names for it, but let's look at it closely, right? I spent many years teaching people all over the world how to trade and invest, and this bar was always a topic of discussion because it tells you something. Anytime you see this, it tells you you need more information. The market participants need more information to make the next major decision. And if we analyze this, the bottom part of this day, that's the low. That's the furthest down the markets went. The top portion is the highest point that the markets made it to. And so what this is telling you is the markets opened, they traded lower, they traded higher, they traded lower, and they finished right somewhere in the middle. We get nothing from that. We can't learn what the next move is going to be. So if you're a short-term trader, you're sort of stuck right now. You have to guess. 50-50 shot. Is it going to go higher or lower? Whereas a day like this, where you see solid selling, well, you could sort of at least surmise that the next day is going to be weak as well, unless there's some major news that changes that. So the Dow basically unchanged, sitting there waiting. The S&P sitting there waiting and unchanged. The NASDAQ's going to be a different story, and this is changing in real time because of earnings. I believe Tesla just reported their earnings, and so I'll take a look with you here. Let's just see while we're doing this. By the way, we're going to do this live. Anybody want to help me do this live? I don't like recording it and then posting it. I don't know how to make it live. You tell me how to make it live on YouTube. I'm happy to do it. Tesla reporting earnings. Actually, they're up a little bit, so it must be another name that I haven't come across yet. Oh, Yelp is down 11%. Take-Two Interactive. Yeah, I don't see anything interesting there. So let's move on to what we plan to cover today. Chipotle. Chipotle. If we go and we take a look at some of the stocks moving today, and I always like to see the best performers and the worst performers. If we look at the worst performer for the S&P, guess who's the winner? It's Chipotle. And that's a shame because I love this restaurant. I love eating there. I spend so much money at Chipotle. I could go there every day. I didn't go there today, but you know, I could go there every day. The problem is people are getting sick. My daughter got sick when she went to Chipotle, and she swears she will never go back. And she hasn't. That was like a year and a half ago. Well, people keep getting sick, and so Chipotle's got a big problem because I can go to Panda Express, I can go to Five Guys, BurgerFi, name another restaurant, I can go there, I don't get sick. I go to Chipotle, people get sick. No one wants to take that risk. And so Chipotle came out today and they said their earnings were better than expected. Everything was fine. They raised prices, actually. That's why their revenue was a little higher. Not because more people bought from them, because they jacked up their prices a little bit. So something key to watch there if you're paying attention to the earnings. A little bit of a trick. But anyways, they came out and they said, you know what? We're going to give our employees bonuses. We're going to do tuition reimbursement thanks to the tax reform. Yeah, we've all heard that. Other people have done that as well. that normally makes a stock go down in the short term, but not 10%. Why did it go down 10% today? Well, the company came out and they said, we're going to spend $50 million refreshing our stores. I hope they plan on spending some money on Clorox or something to clean off all the nasties that keep getting into food. But here's the thing. Do the math real quick. $50 million. All the stores that they have, I did the math earlier, it's about $20,560 per store to refresh it. What are you going to get for $20,000? You can't hire an architect for $20,000. You can't hire a tile setter for $20,000. You know, it's Chipotle. You've seen the tiles that they have all over the wall? So I don't know what they're thinking. And what everybody else thought at the same time was the analysts thought that's not enough money. You save $50 million. We look at your balance sheet. We see you can do $50 million, but we all know it's going to be more than $50 million, and they really can't do that. So people sort of punishing them today. The stock was down 10%. That's my long story on Chipotle. I want to root for them. I want to love them. I mean, I want the best for this company. I even applied to be their next CEO. I'll let you know what happened, but they were shopping around for a new CEO. I found the headhunting firm. I submitted my video application. Told them I got a little following on YouTube, you know, maybe they should put a face with the name. I went with the whole thing. I'll let you know if they even respond. Let's look at Snapchat. So Snapchat, believe it or not, it's a public company. They went public last year. They've basically sucked ever since. Nothing good has happened. Actually, you can still see it on the charts there. This is the IPO, shot up on the excitement. It has been nothing but lower since until today. About a 50% gain on Snapchat today. Well, here's the thing. They finally are starting to get it. They're a public company. They're competing with Facebook, which of course owns Instagram and Twitter. Not that they own them, but they're competing against Twitter as well. They finally were able to get their auction-style advertising, you know, like Google, where you bid for a place, and if you're the highest bidder, your ad shows. They're doing that on Snapchat. Well, they finally perfected it in a way where the prices seem lower, which is causing more bids, which means their revenue was higher. So Snapchat reported that 90% of the ads that were shown were now done over this auction-style bidding, and that people were coming back and starting to pay money to advertise on Snapchat. That's good news because they lose a lot of money. I'm telling you, they don't. This is not a company to invest in thinking you're going to get rich quick unless you bought yesterday. These guys don't make a lot of money, so they're at least making the right strides, taking the right efforts. However, pay attention to what Instagram is saying. Every time Snapchat says something interesting that they're going to put in their app, Instagram says, oh yeah, we already got it. And then they'll launch it on the same day. So very, very competitive. That's an aggressive one to invest in. Another stock today, Wynn, was up 9% on the day. The CEO is out. The founder, Steve Wynn, the guy that created this whole thing, the guy whose name is on the building, he's being kicked out. Sexual harassment, well, sexual misconduct is the reason for kind of what's been happening here on the charts. And what did we say? We said this on the day that this was announced, that this will pass. The fact that the win dropped so much has nothing to do with the company being successful. It's that the leadership for the company seems to be a bunch of scumbags at the moment, but that doesn't affect the dollars. Investors want the dollars, and they will come back to the stock, and so that's what you're seeing today. Well, while we're talking here, let's go look at Tesla. Tesla's been very, very volatile here during the earnings. Was up on the news, now was down, and now back up to around 350. So a pretty back and forth earnings move for Tesla. That was the big focus for earnings today. I don't have anything else. Yelp, if you're familiar with that company or invested in Yelp, I think they're down big on earnings, 42 bucks. That puts it down right around here. Technical traders, technical traders, you know, the little support area right in there is probably where it is gonna stick for the day. Hey, look, I hope you enjoy this. I hope it's something you find enjoyable. You see how this pertains to your investments. If you're gonna stick around for just a second, I will go over some of the leaders, market movers today. Crude oil was a big one. Can I pull that one up? Crude oil still slipping off of its lows. Not a big deal. This is expected after such a nice run up. So if you have crude oil products, if you're invested in the oil service, oil explorations, these are those, I'm showing those on the screen now. Not a big deal. These pullbacks seem to be normal after having pretty nice runs up. So energy, anything in that space seemed a little bit weak today. If we go towards the top, the best performers on the day, we've got, of course, volatility. Here's volatility creeping back up again. That's to be expected. Retail had a great day. Retail was up about 1%. So if you have any retail holdings or exposure to retail stocks, looking good there. The dollar was also up on the day if you pay attention to that. And the transports, a little bit of a recovery there, your transportation stocks. What else do I have? I have nothing else for you. Wine and wealth. I'm looking forward to it. We have some amazing topics that we're going to cover. The type of stuff that we cover on our YouTube channels, you can see a few videos up here. But if you want more in depth, you want help with your personal finances, I don't want to be the guy that just manages your retirement. You can now open your entire retirement account, fund it, choose how you want to invest, and we'll get to work on our website. But I want to help you with your personal finances too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.